Here's the question. And it's two-parter, Dibs. So you got to answer one, and then you got to answer the other. I won't give them both to you at once because then, as we know, you'll only answer the second one. It's one followed by the other.
Okay.
All right. And you too, y'all. 888-957-9570. Are the 49ers better now, or were they better in 2020, 4 years ago?
Well, that was two questions, but...
No, it's one question.
They're better now,
It's
Mark.
an either-or question.
They are better.
Are they better now?
They're better now.
Okay.
Their offense is a lot better. Their defense is a little worse. So, to me, a lot better of the offense is stronger than the little worse that their defense is.
There you go. So we're asking for an overall net answer.
Right.
Can I adjust on the fly and turn it into a three-part question?
Oh, let's go.
Okay,
I'm here for it.
Second part. Are the Chiefs better now than they were 4 years ago?
Defense is a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Offense is significantly worse.
Okay.
The Chiefs...
The net is?
I think the net is they're the same.
They're the same.
They're the same.
All right.
I think they're the same.
So the Chiefs are the same. The 49ers are better.
Chiefs are different, but the net of it is that they are the same.
Are you more or less confident this time around?
Way more confident.
Why?
Much more confident.
Why?
Because the Niners' offense is a lot better, and the defense is only a little bit worse. The Chiefs' offense is worse, not a lot worse, but they're worse. The defense is a lot better, but I think back to that game 4 years ago, and the X factor in all of football is the quarterback. And I have more faith in this quarterback than I had in that quarterback. And I remember watching that Super Bowl and having the Niners be up by 10, thinking, this is a surprise. This is really cool. Can they actually do it? If the Niners are up 10 in this game, my feeling will be, yeah, Niners, you're better. You should be up 10.
I'm with you completely. So I accept your answers to the three-part question. I go back to how I felt in the fourth quarter, the Niners up 20-10. And I have to be honest with what the vibe was then. I was like, huh.
Yeah?
That, if I was going to make a noise,
that was your noise.
That encapsulates how I felt. Huh. And it was like, are they actually going to do this?
Right.
The answer was no. They were not actually going to do this, but
Spoiler
I was
alert.
surprised. I was surprised that was the position they were in, and I don't know if I really knew that I felt that way before the game. Sometimes you don't know until the game actually starts, but the organic emotions that were coming out, surprised. I'm like, so now go back to the beginning. I guess I didn't think they were going to win. I didn't think that they would have the Chiefs with just 10 points with 7 minutes to go. Right. This time, now maybe it changes at kickoff, but this time I think they're going to win. I think they should win. I am more confident. Here's the issue, Dibs. I think you and I are in the minority. Among Niner fans? Among 49er fans.
Well, and I saw that the spread has now wriggled back down to 1.5.
It has?
That's what I saw.
Where do you go, by the way?
I was looking at the FanDuel. We got a crawl.
Okay.
We got some horse racing on, which has me seriously distracted.
Yeah.
We got the 8th going off at Fairgrounds.
And there's a horse.
Yeah, there are a lot of horses. And I thought I saw the FanDuel scroll listed at 1.5.
Where I go, it's still at 2. But
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna play pickleball back and forth with
I would
each other a
check
little bit.
where I go, but I'm currently in a feud with the people where I go.
Okay.
Because they're offering me these, hey, get back in deals, and I said, dude, that's no deal. It's no deal. So why would I want to do that? And they've had no response.
I don't know. Maybe it's a good deal.
It's not a good deal.
It's not a good deal? I did get the email.
Like,
I haven't placed a bet in a little while. I got one of those emails today.
Yeah.
Did you know that you still have a balance?
Yeah, I got the same one.
Yes, I do. I do know that, and I'd like to keep it. Thank you very much. But I think we're in the minority.
Interesting.
I think a lot of you, and I think Grandy and Lucas are two examples. They've already admitted it in a court of law known as our phones, where they texted us and said so. They believe that the 49ers are better than they were 4 years ago, and they are less confident in their chances to win this time around.
That, to me, is a wild combination of thoughts because unless you think that the Chiefs are a lot better than they were 4 years ago, and I won't speak for them.
But they're not. I mean, they're clearly
their defense
not.
is.
Yes, but they were a clearly less dominant team this year than they were probably at any point over the last 4 years.
In the Mahomes run, for sure. I agree with that. But I'm just surprised that they would think both of those things together. That, the Niners are better, but they're not more confident in that. That comes to me as a surprise.
Let me read exactly what was said here, because both of them will also admit that they don't necessarily know why they feel the way they feel. Grandy said, do you think the Niners are better than in 2020? I do, even with the defensive issues. Do you think the Chiefs are worse than in 2020? I do, but I'm also less confident this time around, and I can't really explain it.
Maybe that's just being a fan and you have PTSD over the fact that Kansas City beat you 4 years ago and you don't feel like, they can actually do this and get it done.
That's definitely part of it.
Yeah.
That's like the experience of having lost
to this guy,
to this particular team one time already is absolutely part of it. The other thing that I think, like my answer, the reason I'm more confident, I look at it as much more A to B. Like, last time your quarterback was Jimmy Garoppolo and this time your quarterback's Brock Purdy. That automatically means you have a better chance. You have a better player at the most important position. Good enough? I don't know. One football game. Lots can happen. He's still young. Ball could bounce. He could make a bad decision. I don't know. That's all possible. But I think proven through all kinds of stats and our eyes, the 49ers have a better chance to win a football game when Brock Purdy is quarterbacking it versus Jimmy Garoppolo.
But 21-5 as a starter, and I think if you wanted to extrapolate that all the way out, you look at McCaffrey versus Raheem Mostert and Tevin Coleman. That's not even close. Joe Staley, great left tackle against Trent Williams. Trent's better than Joe. Apologies, Joe, but Trent is a better player right now than Joe was 4 years ago.
I like where your head's at. Like, what position was better 4 years ago? Give me one.
I'm just going through the offense right now, and I'm thinking Kittle now versus Kittle then, and Kittle now is better than Kittle then.
I mean, even if you said same. I guess Kyle Juszczyk is starting to decline maybe a little bit.
Ayuk against Emmanuel Sanders.
No question.
Right?
No question.
And, Deebo Samuel versus... I'm hard pressed to even remember who the other receiver was.
Well, I would argue Deebo has been unlocked in ways now that a younger Deebo had not even been unlocked in that form yet. That running back thing sort of seemed to develop out of 2 seasons ago when they ended up losing to the Rams in the NFC title game. I don't know that we even knew Deebo the same way we know him now at that time. Yeah, I guess we could go around to maybe in the secondary.
Yeah,
I like a Jimmy Ward, and especially with Hufanga out. Yes, I would argue that their safety position is a little bit compromised as compared to 4 years ago. But man, you're not going to find a lot of answers there. Nick Bosa was on both teams.
Yeah,
you're not going to find a lot of answers there as far as where are the Niners worse now than they were 4 years ago.
The defense is where it gets interesting to me because the defense that we know from the last 2 weeks is different than the defense that we thought was the defense all year. So which defense shows up on Sunday in 9 days? Is it the team that looked like a top 3 defense for most of the regular season? Or is it the defense that got gashed against Detroit? That to me is probably where the game ultimately swings either way, because if the defense doesn't play well and Mahomes gets comfortable and Mahomes plays like he did against Baltimore, where he was almost perfect, he wound up 30 of 39, I think, in that game. He was remarkable.
Right, but they scored 17 points.
Right, but he had his way.
Oh, no,
he controlled the ball.
Mahomes has been fantastic in the playoffs, but this is part of my point. I can't even really tell you exactly why the Chiefs' offense this year just isn't very dynamic. They're not going to hang 30-something on you.
Yeah.
Watch, they now go out there.
Well, they've only done it 3 times all year.
They're like, it's very unlikely that they're going to go out there and hang 30-something on you. And as a 49er fan, I'm sort of conditioned that if you don't get north of 24, the Niners should win. Now, can the Niners be held to 17? It happened. Happened 3 weeks in a row. They lost all the games. But again, I'm going by likelihood here. Is it likely that the 49ers are going to get held under 24? No. No. Is it likely that the Chiefs are going to go blow by that number? No. No. Shouldn't we be more confident this time around?